So I came here about a year ago and did a video about why all the buildings in the city are like a golden yellowy colour. A viewer politely pointed out in my comments that there's a small detail I might have got slightly wrong. So if you join me here today, I'd like to show you a little bit more of the beautiful city of Bath and also put right what I got wrong in my last video. So we start here on Orange Grove, named after the Prince Orange who came here in the 18th century. On the left hand side of me over there I can see the Bath Abbey, and to the right of me there's an old Victorian police station which is now a restaurant. And I think what some of my UK viewers might find more interesting is that this is the place where Channel 4 films First Dates. Come on, don't pretend that you don't like a little bit of First Dates. So last time I came here, I walked past Queen Square and I think I briefly mentioned it. But today what I'm going to do, I'm going to take you inside and show you a little bit more of the square itself. So today Queen Square is a place where people come for lunch. It's a nice place to hang out, a bit more relaxing part of the city. It looks a little bit different than what it was when it was in the Georgian times. John Wood the Elder designed this as an open space, and most of the trees that you see around here have all been planted around the Victorian era, and in fact the obelisk in the middle, that was surrounded by water at the time, but as fashion changed during the Victorian era they removed the basin at the bottom of there and obviously filled it in and planted a load of these trees. And Queen Square to the right of me here was built as to look like one big mansion really. Today then it would have been Georgian houses. Today they're mainly offices. In fact, I worked at that one over there, the dark door over there, for about a year at number 26 Queen Square. And as you come up Queen Square and head up Gay Street, you'll see the Jane Austen Centre on your right side, in one of the houses that Jane Austen once lived in. And in fact Jane Austen mentions Queen Square in her book Persuasion. In one of her characters isn't really happy about wanting to stay around here, and when she's asking where she'd like to stay, she says none of that Queen Square stuff for us. So it just shows that in 19th, 20th century Bath, property snobbery was alive and well. I mean, personally, if someone was to offer me a place to stay in Queen Square, I think I could see beyond its obvious shortcomings. And it's interesting just what you can learn really from reading novels from that era. Sometimes you can learn a little bit more about what people's attitudes were like. It's probably safe to say that these Georgian buildings in sort of 19th century and Victorian England were probably looking a bit dated. They obviously didn't like them as much as all the people who are coming here today to look at them absolutely love them. This road's certainly changed since I used to come down here. It's you can't drive up there anymore. You used to be able to drive up and down that place. So yeah, all change in Bath. And as we get to the top of Gay Street, we arrive at the Circus. So there you see really the same golden yellow glow, sort of honey coloured you could say. Same architecture, same architect even. So there's an interesting story as to why the Circus was built in a circle, and there are actually some symbols engraved around the stonework on these buildings which have some interesting theories. Maybe they were Masonic symbols, maybe some other hidden meanings. I went into that in more detail in my other video, so I'm not going to cover that again here. But if you want to know a bit more about that, I'll put a link to that video at the end of this one, and you can go and have a look at that. So now we're going to go on to the newer part of the city, because it was some of the more recent history that I actually got wrong. And there we have the Roman baths, probably one of the oldest parts of the city, as we head down to the newer part. that you can see in the distance, just down there. I think when I walked down here, I could always tell where the old finished and where the new began. And I think I just always put that down to the age of the building. I just always presumed that the building over there is 200 years old, whereas the building over here is younger than me. But it turns out there's a little bit more to it than that. You see, the new buildings aren't made entirely from Bath stone. Bath stone cladding's used to make the buildings resemble the other buildings around them. So when I said in my other video that Bath has to be, the new buildings in Bath have to be built out of traditional Bath stone, I wasn't entirely right. I mean, there was some debate about whether this was acceptable. Bath Preservation Trust questioned whether it'd look authentic. They also questioned the durability of these new buildings. Now I have to admit, they certainly fooled me. So when it comes to authenticity, I think the architects did the job. When it comes to sort of the longevity of the buildings, well, I guess somebody may come back in 22, 26 and make a YouTube video about whether they did the job on that front. So what about you? Did they fool you like they fooled me? Or could you always tell that this wasn't true Bath stone? I don't know. And did you watch my other video? And well done if you spotted the deliberate mistake. Anyway, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I'd appreciate a like. If you've got any further tips about Bath, anything that I might have missed, any information that I might find interesting, please let me know in the comments below. But I hope you come back and watch another video, and you can go on my channel and see what other videos I've done so far. Thanks a lot, and see you later.